everybody, Mike Pfeiffer, Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. We're going to do update 22 today, and I'm pretty sure that you're really going to like this one because I really like what I've gotten done. So let's take a look at where I am. Okay, gang, you've kind of seen this, but I have now carried it on around and started lightening it up, and I missed a spot there, obviously. I'll get that in a bit. And I went around all the way to the town. So now you can see that all of the dirt has a base coat. And let me turn around and show you what else I've been up to today. Okay. I painted the ground down here. And I got kind of carried away and just kept going. Now, you'll understand, right, that this is just a base coat for the plaster. That foliage and everything goes on top of this. But it was kind of difficult to paint around the bridges and stuff. But I got there. Now I've got to get the plaster, the white plaster, off of the bridges and so forth. But I'm not exactly sure what the next step will be. But like I've said, I need to keep going down this way with the plaster cloth and put plaster on that hill down there. So we'll see where this leads us, but that's where I am today. And I just uploaded video 21 earlier today. So this one probably won't be out until next week, but here we are. Okay, gang, I got the automobile underpass done over there. Now I can continue on down with some filler and some plaster cloth. So maybe tomorrow or something I'll get on that. I just don't have the I don't know, the energy to do something today, so, or the desire, I suppose. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. I have a cardiologist appointment tomorrow afternoon, but I think I could get a bunch of stuff done. I washed 3 cars this morning because the weather's supposed to be clearing up from all the wind we've had, so that's what I've been doing today. But we'll get there. Okay, everybody. This is what I'm up to right now, and I'll do this edge after a while. I'll get it. I'm just going to keep working my way around, and as I go around, I'm going to slightly change the color. I am using the Woodland Scenics spreader, and I am using a Nosh spreader. And honestly, between the two, I don't really see much difference. I'm going to try some of this Nosh color mix, and I'm going to try some of the shorter grass at some point in time. And then what Gavin is telling me, and he uses this stuff quite a lot, is that once you get all this on there and you get it standing up, then you go back and put some like Arizona rock powder or something, spread it in there, and kind of mix it into the grass. But once the trees and stuff are on it, it'll look really good. And plus that strip over there makes it look kind of funny. But I'll work my way around and change up colors as I go a little bit, textures and stuff like that. But so far, so good. I have not had luck with these things before, but it seems pretty good this time. I forgot to show it, but I bought this little pocket vac. We had to search around for it, but a buddy of mine bought one, and they're real handy around the layout because they have a filter in there, and you can see that it's collected all the excess flocking from the layout, and it goes right to the filter, and then you can just easily unscrew that, take the filter out, dump that back in your container, and off you go again. The nice thing is if you suck up something that you don't want sucked up, like a person or something like that, you can get it out of there. I have it uses a USB charger, and I've got it charging right now. But it's come in real handy. Robin has one for the craft room, and these were suggested to me by my buddy Mike Canizero. Found these. But I really like this one over the Woodland Scenics one because it's a little more powerful. By the way, the suction on this will make the grass stand up if it's not standing up well. Okay, gang, I have gotten that much done. I got to work myself around, but I have to do some patching over there, as you guys know, behind the trestle, and I'm just not there yet. So I'm probably going to stop with the static grass for right now, but I'm beginning to realize it's going to take a lot of static grass to go around here, but we will see how it goes. Okay, everybody, this is probably the most green scenery that I've ever done, along with the static grass. As you can see, part of this is wet. Well, actually most of it is wet because I added that brown earth in between all the static grass, and then I put scenic cement in there. This area up here is all brand new, and it's got you can see the white glue, the white static tack glue underneath it. So that is yet to dry. This over here is beginning to dry, and you can see what the canyon looks like. And I really like it. Like I say, my first time with the static grass machine, and I really like it. This static grass over here is a blend with shorter grass in it. This is long grass. I don't know how many millimeters. Hang on a minute. 6 millimeters. This is 6 millimeter grass up in here. And I wanted it long up in there, but I want it to be shorter as it comes down because then it's becoming more arid. So I'm not really sure. I got to stop right here because I still haven't filled in where that newspaper and stuff is back there. But I'm planning on doing that maybe today and maybe not today. I'll show you what else I'm thinking. I'm thinking about continuing on down this way and try and get connected up with that stuff down there. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. We were doing some cleanup at the club today, and I did something to my back, and my back is hurting me. So if my back works, we'll see. One of the guys in the club moved into an assisted living. He was one of the estates that we're selling. He brought in all these chooch bridge abutments, and I have a thought over here, and I'll share that with you in a moment. And he was giving all this stuff away, and he had some Instafence, and he had some old fencing. It's in Scale Architect, old fencing. And then this other fencing here is actually Bachman, I believe. But I thought, how cool would that be for a graveyard? So, anyways, I'm looking at that. But hang on a minute, let me share something with you. Okay, obviously I can turn locomotives around by turning the locomotives around on the Y over there. But then I have to reverse ends with the caboose and all that stuff. I really don't have a way to turn trains around going the other direction. So I was first thinking about coming off of something over here in the yard, put a crossing in here, making a loop of track around here, and then going down that way and tying into that center track right over in there somewhere. But that's a pretty sharp radius. I don't know what it would be, but it would actually only be for turning trains, and it would be scenic as a very derelict piece of track, unused piece of track. Now, the other option is to put a turnout back over there, which is not an easy issue right now, but now is the time. But if I put a right-hand turnout over there, I can come right down on this side, on the other side of that marker, and go right along here and come down into this track and put a right-hand turnout there. And then put an AR1 on there, and then I could, that train would go around that loop, take that turnout, come down here and get on this track, and it would be going the opposite way that it came. I'm just giving that some thought at the moment. Some more thought has got to go into this, but we shall see. Okay, gang, another thought that Gavin and I had, and I've always wanted a trestle, but you know, the stair step down on all the trestle bents to me always looks kind of goofy, and I don't really care for it too much here. So we could disguise that with bushes and stuff, but normally they kill all the bushes and stuff underneath a trestle because they don't want it catching fire. So I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of up in the air. We could do it with rock, we could do it with all kinds of stuff. But many of you probably already know that back in the day, when they wanted to eliminate a trestle, or the trestle was getting too old, they would start bringing in hopper cars and dump them between the track and start filling up from the bottom up, filling in the canyon with ballast and dirt. And the trestle would actually remain in place until they got enough dirt in there, brought in enough ballast or rock, that it would fill in the trestle, basically fill in the trestle. And I'm thinking it would make kind of a cool scene if on my trestle they had started doing that. And this side of it over here looks pretty good. That side of it over there I'm not happy with. So if we pretended like they had brought in hopper loads of dirt and dumped them down in that side and started to fill the left-hand side, we could deal with this other side over here. I just don't know if anybody would understand what's going on. And we would have to fill in dirt across the bottom here too, probably. I would have to build that up and then cover that with dirt. I'm gonna have to do some research online and see if there's any pictures of them actually doing that on the railroads, and see what it looks like while that process is being done. But if it's something I can model, I might do that there. And I'm really looking forward to that canyon over there, the Black Canyon behind it, kind of being filled in with some greenery and some thick foliage. I'm going to try and make it green as the canyon that's behind it there. You'll see how green that canyon is. I want to make it look like that comes down here. So anyways, I've got to do something or make a decision on this trestle of how I'm going to handle this. But that's a thought. And then of course we've talked about the burnt out trestle underneath the metal bridge. But that's down the road. I've got to get some scenery done in there first as well. But anyway, those are just thoughts. And this is Friday. I've got graduation stuff going on this weekend. So I'll probably put this all in a video for Sunday, probably 22. And that's when you'll probably see it, sometime on Sunday. And if I don't see you before then, have a happy Memorial Day. Okay, everybody, more progress. Got plaster cloth all the way down, joining to the hill over there. The plaster cloth and stuff that I have to do behind this hill here and all the way around that back is probably going to require me to put a bunch of newspaper over there where the train is sitting right now. and do my plaster cloth and stuff. Put my pan over there for my plaster cloth and stuff so I can work my way around while in the hole there. But somehow I've got to tie all that into that backdrop going around and coming over to the town. So, but that's all the plaster cloth stuff I have to do right now, or in the near future anyway. So let me back up. And there you kind of have it. I'm going to modify something right down in there because I don't like being able to see through there. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. And it'll come to me when I get back in there. Now, this little gap, let me get up here on the stool. I almost had this all plaster cloth, and then I remembered that there needs to be a gap here for that road that goes up that hill. And that road's going to go down here, come across the track, and then that was already hard, so I'm going to have to cut that out a little bit to have that road come off of the highway over there, and then cross the track, come down along the track, move over to the other track, and go up the hill over here. So that is the game plan there. And I see right now, let me get you in the picture. I see right now that I have this little lip that goes around here. I think I'm going to build that up kind of tall. I may even put a tunnel portal there, even though that it won't go anywhere, just to view block that and put something across the track there. Not really sure what I'm going to do, but I got to do something. And from the base of the layout up to the backdrop there is going to be a piece of cake, because there's not much there to do. So this is it for right now, and this is where we're going to leave this one. Well, okay, everybody, that's it for 22, and I hope you enjoyed it. And as I always say lately, take a look at the vintage page. There's been a lot of stuff bought off of there. In the way of used Cato track, there's still some stuff on there that some of it's mine, some of it, well, not mine, some of it is the shop's off of my old layout, and some of it is off of Gavin's layout. But there's some cars and stuff there. I've always say this, but I've got to get more stuff put on there. But this is graduation week, and as you see, or you may have seen, I put out a train switching video today because I had to run back out to the fairgrounds today. Was out there yesterday, but I forgot to take some pictures of some trackage out there. Excuse me. Because those guys wanted me to redo the map of the layout, and I didn't have a couple of places in my head how they were laid out. So I went out there, took some pictures. I had to get a couple pieces of wood. I don't know, I did a bunch of things. Yesterday when I was out there and getting ready to leave, had to help a guy get they're having the wine festival out there this week, and he was going to try and unload a vintage truck that one of the wineries here has with big barrels on the back of it, and he got his forklift stuck in the dirt out there, and I helped him get it out. Anyway, there's just a lot of things going on this weekend. I did have time to stop and look at the trains that the video that I posted earlier today. I may post this one tonight. I have a graduation tomorrow morning. I have a graduation party tomorrow night. And Sunday is NASCAR day. We don't do much except take the dogs for ice cream and go watch the NASCAR race in the afternoon. India's on. Sunday's going to be a very busy day, so I'm going to do the video, I believe, tonight because I have time. I will not have time tomorrow night or Sunday night. So it's a little sooner than I was hoping to put it out. But anyway, I'm rambling on, but you guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you when I get to 23. And Thanks for watching.